What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Cameraman Show. Today, I'm going to show you guys an update that we've just received from Lightroom Classic that breaks down its own version of AI. A lot of you who are photographers know that Photoshop Beta currently exists, which has its own AI capabilities, but Lightroom's just come out, and we're going to do a live deep dive. Manav and I were talking about creating a video here, and it's so interesting because we've not seen this just yet. I've just gone ahead and updated my Lightroom Classic. So if you guys are interested, first of all, hit that like button, comment down below if you have any favorite parts, subscribe if you haven't, and let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so I currently have here open Adobe Lightroom Classic to the most recent version. I've got an image of a couple photo shoot here that I did in London, and I've gone ahead and edited the image with my preset. The good thing about AI and in terms of Adobe Lightroom Classic is it's just one small button that you have to click on first. You don't have to navigate to any other menus, and it is just at the top here of, or right underneath the histogram, which is this kind of like rubber looking tool. So we're gonna go ahead and click that. Now, when we have that tool, we click down, a drop-down menu appears, and you have 3 buttons specifically. Now, the first 2 are your standard healing tools that can, remove certain things and replace it with like another area within the image. But the area that we're gonna experiment today is gonna be this kind of like, I don't know, I guess that's a rubber. I think that's a rubber looking thing. Yeah. Let's just label it as that. And we're gonna go ahead and click that. And now let's just see what this does to begin with. Now, there's a few things here. There's a car here in the background, which we're going to leave to the very end. We've got people here, which I would imagine would be pretty easy to take out. So let's just go ahead and sort of select that.
And I would say this is very common for a lot of wedding photographers, like having people in the background.
Yeah, having so many people in the background is such a common thing that wedding photographers actually face. So this is a great example of what this could look like in a real life scenario. So now that we've selected the subject, we're just gonna go here and press subtract. I would assume that adding could be replacing that with something else, and subtracting could just be getting that sort of image out. Let's just go ahead and click subtract and then hit apply. This is so easy to use. I feel like this is so much more simpler than Photoshop Beta.
And I had to like take everything out of Lightroom, import it into Photoshop.
Yeah.
Before, but now that this is in Photoshop, now that this is in Lightroom, it's so much easier.
Correct. Oh my God. So this is so good. So basically it's now come back and it looks absolutely spot on. Can I zoom into this? Yeah, it looks absolutely spot on that it has now been replaced with a beam. Oh my God. I'm frothing. Like, this looks so good. Okay, cool. So maybe we can go back and select it. And yes, we can. And just see if we have variation. So they've exactly mimicked Photoshop Beta in terms of how whenever you use the mask prompt and you type in exactly what you want, you have 3 different variations. So let's go ahead and see what those variations look like. I know it's very small, but they're all identical. They're perfect. You cannot even tell. This is phenomenal. A lot of photographers who are using this are going to see this and going, oh my God, I now don't have to stress about all these different people coming in the shot, and I can just replace them with AI. It's fantastic. Let's just see how powerful this is. Manav just suggested that I can take out this Ferris wheel. So again, we're going to click on the eraser tool. We're going to click on if we hover it over, it doesn't really say, or maybe it does, but let's just pick on this tool anyways. And we're going to go ahead and select the entire Ferris wheel. Okay, so let's just see what this does. There's a bit of greenery there. There's a bit of an overlap with the building. This is a bit more challenging. Let's just see what it does. Okay, cool. No, it's all selected. It's all selected. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go ahead and press subtract, and we're going to hit apply. Again, it's just going to buffer and render the image first and see what it generates. Okay, so, oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Wow. That's incredible.
What are the other variations?
Okay, so let's just see. And they're so minor. They're so minor. Like, yeah, you can, yes, if I zoom in here, if I press Z and use a space button, wow, you can now actually see the differences in the choices you have. That's phenomenal. Okay, let's go on to something a bit more difficult. Let's try and see if we can do the car. I feel like this is levels to this. First is people, now it's objects in the background, now this is a car. Now this is, I think, the car's gonna be a hard one for sure, but let's just see what happens. So we're gonna increase the brush size here. Again, clicking on the same thing and the first icon here under mode, and we're just gonna select the car.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have much hope for this.
I don't think it would. I'll be very surprised if it does a really good job. Bear in mind that this is the beta version, so they are naturally going to improve this. And the good thing is it makes refined adjustments. I've just noticed that I've selected the car, but it's masking out the car in such a way where you can see the tires over here that are getting masked. This is perfect. So now it does a very automatic way of detecting what image you're actually trying to get out.
I would say select the little shadow at the bottom of the car as well.
That's actually a good idea. Yeah, actually a good idea. So let's select this shadow here so we can add to it even better. And now again, let's hit subtract and apply. I'm so excited to see what happens. This will be very interesting to see what happens. Okay, so let's see. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it's taken out the car. Not bad. I'm not gonna lie. This is very impressive. So
look at all the stuff is generated, the back of the windows and stuff behind it.
okay, so I've just pressed the second variation here. And the first variation was, let's go back to the first one. The first variation, it replaced it with people, which you could do it twice. You can do masking twice and now get those people out on top of that, which you could probably do. But let's see what the second variation to this is. It's replaced it with, I think that's like a bench. What is that? I think it's thought that it's like a desk or like an office piece of furniture or something that looks very interesting. Yeah, there's one more. Let's see what that is. Go back into it again. We click on the rubber or whatever tool that is, and we go one more time. And now it's gone. Okay, it's probably tried to remove the car from the entire process, but it doesn't replace it. I think I can hit refresh again. Let's try.
Can you do 3 more generations?
Yeah, so let's press refresh one more time just to see what it actually does now. So my imagination would probably be it's the same as Photoshop Beta, where when it's being refreshed, it will just give it another turn. Okay, even better. So I've now refreshed it twice. So now we've got like a trash can, which seems a bit more realistic.
And you can easily replace that by another brush anyway.
Correct. Yeah. And now I've refreshed it one more time, and it's gone to a different area where there's just now fences, it seems, and another area of just beams. I think the trash bin. Let's try that. Yeah. And now let's try one more time. So now we click on the same tool, we go down, select the brush, and now we just select this bin to see, or whatever this thing is. Maybe it looks like maybe it's a printer. I don't even know what that is. Is it a bin? And now let's go ahead, and that's good there. It's analyzing that. It's even refined it even more, and we're going to hit subtract, and now we're going to go apply. And again, my understanding would be that you can layer on top the generative AIs, and it can remove, and it can. So now it's replaced it to even a smaller thing, which is like a beam. Let's hit the right arrow to go across, see the other variation. It's now a little statue, and one more time, and it's now, I guess, another statue or something like that. But that's a lot less intrusive than it was a car. So if we press...
That looks so much better.
So now if you select the key above the return button, so it backslash, you can see the before, where we've gotten rid of the car, we've gotten rid of the Ferris wheel and the people, and you press after. Also, I've edited the image so you can see the before and the color grade. And you can see a dramatic difference with what can be removed from the photo through AI. The pros to this means I don't have to now export this image to Photoshop. I can do it all within the same tool. A lot of the times, a lot of people are very afraid of using different programs because they're going, oh, I don't have to want to use or download another software or tool and learn that, which I get is a bit of a pain. But now you can just go and use one tool to do everything. Let's go ahead and see what happens when I select the couple, and I'm going to click and press add, which it's now refined to the couple because it's identified there's a subject there, and hit apply. I would imagine it would probably change them to something else, but...
I don't know why you would want to do this, but...
Oh, why not?
That's like your main subject. Like, what?
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Oh,
I don't even know what that is. Let's see what the other options are. And they've now transformed into something else, and now they're a sign. What I'm curious to know is what would the difference be between adding or subtracting? Because right now they both seem to do the same thing. When we selected the car, they were still replaced with another object, and so you would assume when we would select the add button, click the couple, they would be replaced with something else. I don't know. Do you see how there's a difference there?
Why don't you go back and select the couple and just subtract the adding?
Okay, so let's try that. So in this case, I'm gonna go back into the tool, I'm gonna select that, I'm gonna delete this, and now the couple's back. We're gonna go again one more time and select the couple. It should refine it automatically, which it should just now. And we're gonna go subtract and then hit apply. Let's just see what the difference is, because maybe it'll just get rid of them rather than replace them with something else. Maybe that's probably the difference. Something to take away from, I guess, this exercise. Okay, again, it's replaced them with something, but it's replaced them with a light bulb. I don't even know what that is. Let's just try and see what the next option is. A sign which has weird writing, and another sign. I don't even know what writing that is. That's not even English, man. All right, and if I'm assuming we pressed.
I mean, it's designed in a way that you want to not use it on the subject.
Correct.
More like on the background.
Correct. Yeah, correct. But what does this mean? This is incredible for photographers who don't have to use Photoshop, who can now use Lightroom. And instead of removing things and replacing them with the old tools, you now have the generative AI process that does it all automatically for you. So you don't have to spend endless hours trying to nitpick the right area or get the right things from the right areas and replace them to where you're currently trying to add. And now it just does it all for you. Of course, it hasn't added the feature where you can type in a command prompt and be specific enough. And my best bet would be that Lightroom would perhaps release that feature. That might eventually happen. But for now, this is such an incredible advantage, and this is such an upgrade into an area where I know a lot of photographers are going to be going, great, I don't have to worry about replacing people with another area. It just does it all for me. If you guys are excited for this just as much as I am, hit that like button down below, comment your favorite part, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys in the very next video.